folks, thanks for joining me this morning on That's My Farm. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson from Kansas State University, and today we're a little bit west of McPherson, a little bit north of Inman, with Adam and Kim Baldwin at Baldwin Farms. We're going to talk about their cropping operation. We're going to talk about their seed operation. We're also going to talk about some of the service that they do for the Farm Bureau, Sorghum Board, and blogging for all farmers and ranchers around Kansas and the world. Thanks for joining us. This is going to be a great show.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
That's My Farm is brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities. Big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Hey there, folks. Welcome to That's My Farm. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson from Kansas State University, and today we're just outside of McPherson, Kansas, and we're with the Baldwin family, Adam and Kim Baldwin. And thanks a lot for taking time out of your busy schedule, guys. I know that time is precious commodity for all of us, and for y'all to take the time, it's really special for us.
Well, welcome to Baldwin Farms. We're happy to have you.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Baldwin Farms. You know, it's a diversified operation, a history along that. What is the history of Baldwin operations?
Well, my dad is actually started out in southeast Kansas, and he moved here in the late 70s to farm with my uncle, my grandpa, and whatever happened, it kind of decided they would split and have separate operations. And my grandpa gave my dad an 80 to a farm and a grain bin building business, and he raised hogs, and he kind of grew that to a sizable farm. And we're mostly a dry land grain operation with primarily wheat, and then corn, sorghum, and soybeans. And I came back in 2002, was able to pick up some ground when a neighbor retired, and we were able to kind of spin that off into my own operation where we work together, but we're kind of separate overlapping entities is kind of the best way to describe it. Share
when you need to, and keeping things separate when it's convenient or proper as well.
Well, I think Dad, he always wanted to make sure that I was making my own decisions and having my own successes and my own failures, but there's also the reality of economies of scale and being able to share some equipment, but also being able to build your own credit and stuff by owning some too, so in your own name. And that's just what we were trying to always build on. And
you bet. Well, I'm a third generation veterinarian, and we had a family veterinary clinic, and I think it was good that they sold the veterinary clinic and I spun off into my own thing, and you kind of grow your own roots and develop your own business style and things to that. So I think it's just fantastic.
Well, we work, we work cooperatively yet separately. So during harvest time, during planting time, we're all working together for the common goal. And so that's kind of the nice and beauty of working with the multi-generations, is just having my in-laws right down the road, and being able to have Adam work side by side with his dad still.
And in addition to the farm, we also I have a channel seed dealership, and so that helps supplement the income a little bit when like the last few years when it doesn't rain, and with best intentions you still don't have crops. So
absolutely, especially when you're looking at dry land cropping, and we've seen this drought, and the drought situation takes a significant toll, not just on the immediate crops, but what we've seen for insurance and everything over the long haul.
It all adds together, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're going to dig more into your farming operation and what y'all do on the farm, outside the farm, dealerships, many different things. But thanks again for joining us. Thank you, folks, for joining us here on That's My Farm. We're going to take a break. We come back to McPherson, Kansas, here with the Baldwin family.
Summer is busy at Tarwater Farm and Home. We have just about everything you'll need for your summer projects, and we're consistently competitively priced. Tarwaters can help make your grass and garden grow. And we have a huge variety of equipment to cut it. If you have a farm, Tar Waters has the products and equipment to keep it going strong. And our expanded parking lot will make it even more convenient to shop. So come see us at Tar Water Farm and Home in Topeka.
That's My Farm. It's brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities. Big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Hey there, folks. Welcome back to That's My Farm. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson from Kansas State University, and I'm here outside of McPherson, Kansas with Adam Baldwin. And Adam, I appreciate you spending some time with us. You have you're not only doing a lot for your own farm, but for a lot of people's farms with your service that you do outside. And we're going to talk about that in another segment. But let's talk a little bit about your graining operation and what are some of the things that you've seen change during your career coming back?
Well, in this area historically had been a continuous wheat area. And when we did that, I mean, there'd be guys planting wheat for 20 years on the same field. And the way to make that work was moldboard plow. And, you know, that's really not probably the best farming practice in terms of erosion control and utilizing moisture. And there's been a pretty quick shift, it seems, to no-till and strip-till. And then just a more diverse crop rotation. It used to be guys would be 60-70% wheat. Now we're getting to maybe about 40-50% wheat in this area. I mean, it's still a good wheat area, but the row crops with our changing farming techniques and genetics have started working a lot better.
So what's been rotating in more in replace of the wheat? Sorghum and
sorghum had always been the primary rotation. Then soybeans and corn. I normally do a 2 to 3 year wheat and then a corn, bean, milo, somewhere in that order, then back to wheat. We'd like to be 50% wheat. We try to do that the best we can, but in no-till that gets pretty tough to do. But it just seems like that's our most reliable crop. Yep. And it gives a nice residue layer that I sure like. So
when you're you talked earlier about diversifying into seed business, and Channel Seed is the business that you're running now. Can you tell me a little bit about your business?
Well, I started being a channel dealer in 2006, and back when it was Midwest Seeds, and it's, you know, we had some transition through the business, and we're Channel now, and it's just a really good company in terms of bringing hybrids and varieties to the market and technology that has really allowed us to expand and diversify the operation, especially when you think about like products like Drought Guard. When we've been having these really dry spells, you know, the Drought Guard is proven to at least allow us to hold on. I mean, it's not desert corn by any means, but it helps.
Well, I appreciate you having time today. Folks, we appreciate you watching That's My Farm. When we come back to McPherson, Kansas after the break, we're going to talk more with Adam and Kim Baldwin here at Baldwin Farms. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you here in a minute.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for the grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@SureCropFertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we'll be glad to answer and work with you.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Hi, I'm Kim Mandering with Hardy Insurance. I'm here to help you with all of your farm and ranch needs. When it comes to protecting your operation and your family, you need a name you can trust at a price you can afford. Call me today or visit hardyaviationins.com.
That's My Farm is brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities, big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Hey there folks, welcome back to That's My Farm, and today we got to meet the Baldwin family, Adam and Kim, and we're going to meet some more of them here in a little bit. But we had the first Common Ground tour, which is, can you tell me a little bit about Common Ground?
Well, Common Ground in Common Ground, Kansas is a group of farm women who are working to essentially bridge the gap between consumers and farmers and to have conversations about food and farming. And so this was the first ever Common Ground Kansas farm tour that we hosted today, along with Derek and Katie Sawyer. And I thought it was a really great turnout. We had people from the Wichita area drive north out to the country and see how their food is produced. All of our food is produced.
Well, you know, I admire y'all for your service, because folks, when you think about farming and ranching, it's a busy enough occupation. We're already 100% employed, but these two are volunteering their time, not only with Common Ground, but also the American Farm Bureau, or Kansas Farm Bureau, and the Sorghum Association. And hey, you know what? Phones ring all the time. Don't worry about it. You're busy. So let's talk a little bit about your service with Farm Bureau and sorghum.
Well, with my sorghum actually started with Farm Bureau. I was appointed to the Feed Grains Committee for Kansas Farm Bureau, and then I was selected to be chair. Then a couple years ago, there was a position on the United Sorghum Checkoff Program came up, and Farm Bureau nominated me. I ended up getting selected to that, or appointed to that position. And through that, I've been able to be a representative on the U.S. Grains Council and currently serve on the Asia A-Team, advisory team, which has been really fun. For instance, we had talked before how I got a trip. I was on a trade mission to China to help promote U.S. sorghum, which in the meantime, since we did that, they're now, they have purchased 50% of our 2013 crop.
Wow.
So it was pretty cool to be involved and be part of that.
Yeah, and you are also involved with some of these activities outside of Common Ground?
Right. Our local Farm Bureau, McPherson County Farm Bureau, I'm a board member on the Women's Committee and some other committees. And so I stay busy with volunteering in that aspect, and I'm able to really help out Adam with his service to Sorghum Checkoff and U.S. Grains Council and hosting visitors out to our farm, whether they're from Japan or from just down the road.
Well, again, thanks to both of you. Folks, when you're watching the show and you're thinking about Kansas agriculture, you're thinking about agriculture in our country or global agriculture, here are two people that are not only in the trenches every day farming and ranching, but they're out there taking the time to help promote what all of us do, and we really appreciate it. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit with Kim about some of her blogging.
The reaction we get most often from visitors to the Fort Wallace Museum is wow. With the addition of the Ray Pump Organ Collection, the wows just got louder. Visit any time, but mark your calendars for the weekend of September 8th, when we join in the grand reunion of Forsyth Scouts with an encampment, entertainment, and special tributes. Better yet, join the Guardians of Fort Wallace to be a part of the fun all year long.
Earlier in my life, I rode bucking horses and rodeos, and my shoulders took such a beating, and that was probably the reason for having several previous surgeries on both shoulders. about a year ago, I decided that I didn't want to have another surgery. And so I contacted Kansas Regenerative Medicine, took their treatment process. It was relatively pain-free. Now, after 8 months, my shoulders have healed to the point where I think I'm probably 90 to 95% of normal. It takes a couple of months to start to see results and feel real progress. That continued to increase gradually until now at approximately 8 months. And I'm extremely pleased. I've got full range of motion. I can lift weights, I can throw, I can do a lot of things that I couldn't do without a lot of pain previously. So I'm tickled to death with the results, and I'd recommend this process to anyone.
150 years ago, 50 men rode from Kansas into the Colorado Territory where hundreds of Cheyennes waited. They met on a fork of the Arickaree River and made history. Join us as we retrace their steps at sites in both states, Forts Harker, Hayes, and Wallace, the Beecher Island Battleground and Ray, Colorado Museum, with added events in Lincoln. Join us for the grand reunion of the Forsyth Scouts. Fort Wallace was the fightingest fort in the West. Fossils, Indians, soldiers, scouts, wagons, trails, pioneers, stories. Discover the story of Fort Wallace and the people who served here, the people who fought here, the people who settled here. Wallace County, where the past is present.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
That's My Farm. It's brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities. Big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Hey folks, welcome back to That's My Farm. We're west of McPherson, north of Inman, and we're here with Kim Baldwin. And Kim, you do a lot for agriculture, and you've been blogging. You've been telling people about agriculture. Talk to me a little bit about your background, first of all, and share your background with our viewers in what you've done in communications and networks and things of that nature.
Well, my background, I'm a California girl. I was born in California. I claim New Mexico as my home, though. That's kind of where my mom and dad settled after moving around quite a bit when I was younger. Dad was a hospital administrator. Stayed in New Mexico, went to New Mexico State University, and ended up working in television news for a while before a journalism teaching position opened up. So I started teaching in New Mexico. Somehow ended up in Missouri. My parents moved there. And then I met Adam online, and I ended up in central Kansas teaching English to high schoolers. So that's kind of how I made my way to Inman. And you know, I've always loved taking photographs. I've always loved shooting video and writing. And for me, the blog, which is Alive and Well in Kansas, has really just been that really great outlet for me to share with people my farm story as a farm wife, but also to let my friends and family know that I am alive and well in Kansas. So.
Yeah. Well, and when you take a look at some of the things that we do with agriculture, and you look at sharing, if you can share with your friends and family about what we do, what's a more trusted source than that?
Right, right. And it's, you know, it's a way to get consumers to understand what's going on our farm a little bit better. I'm a mom now, so I guess you can consider me a mommy blogger, and just sharing the stories of life on the farm. A lot of my friends and a lot of my family do not have that background, and so when I told them I was moving out to Kansas to marry a farmer, they probably thought I was crazy. And so just being able to share those experiences with them to help them understand what's going on in my life, but also how the food is making it onto everybody's plate.
We're going to have to go to a break, but what's your website one more time for our viewers?
It's www.aliveandwellinkansas.wordpress.com.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for all you're doing. Thanks for taking time out of your schedule today. Now we're going to go meet some of the others in your family.
Sounds good.
Thanks for watching That's My Farm, and we're going to be back right after we take a little break.
Hi, Hi, I'm Kim Mandring with Hardy Insurance. I'm here to help you with all of your farm and ranch needs. When it comes to protecting your operation and your family, you need a name you can trust at a price you can afford. Call me today or visit hardyaviationins.com.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn. For livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
You don't have to be a farmer or rancher to become a Kansas Farm Bureau member. Anyone can join. As a member, you'll get discounts on things like hotels and entertainment, health and wellness services, cell phone plans, and more. You'll also strengthen the lives of your fellow Kansans and help build strong, prosperous communities through agriculture advocacy and education. Join us today. Visit kfb.org/join to learn more.
Heinen Brothers, a fourth-generation Northeast Kansas farm family, knows how tough farming can be. Farmers helping farmers. Heinen Brothers Ag, selling and servicing crop protection products, fertilizer, anhydrous ammonia, cover crops, quality aerial and ground application. Call today to learn about our extended term financing program. 800-760-4964. HeinenBrothersAg.com.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
That's My Farm. It's brought to you in part by Tallgrass Commodities. Big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Hey there, folks. Welcome back to That's My Farm as we wrap up our visit outside of McPherson and Inman, Kansas here with the Baldwin family. We have Adam, Kim, and this is Banks. How are you, Banks?
Can I shake his hand?
You good? All right. And so, folks, this is the future of the Baldwin Farms and moving forward. And, you know, you got to be thinking about that all the time.
Well, you do. And that's when Kim was pregnant, like the thing I was looking forward to the most was taking him to the co-op and just having him ride around with me. Because I remember that with my dad going to get pig feed, and we'd split a pop and a bag of M&Ms, and you know, that was just great memories, and hopefully we can share those as well.
Yeah, I think that's whenever you think about agriculture, you think about our businesses and that it's always great. And I tell you what, the days of me with my folks and my kids, they're growing up. Banks, you got a pretty good life.
And he loves riding combines and checking cows and meeting Papa at the elevator so he can unload wheat too.
Oh, do you unload wheat, Banks?
Do you unload wheat?
Do you unload wheat?
Do you help Papa unload wheat?
Do you get some pop when you go?
Hopefully not. Not yet. Say bye-bye.
Folks, thanks for watching That's My Farm. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson from Kansas State University. If you want to know more about That's My Farm or Ag AM in Kansas, you can find us on the web at www.agaminkansas.com. Thanks for watching us. We're here at the Baldwin Family Farms. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks for coming.
Yep. Banks, bye-bye. Thank you all for joining us, and I'll see you down the road.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.